Hello, I'm Eric Singer, and this is Switchbacks FC Show, the definitive source of everything that is Switchback. This is the first show for the 2015 season, and we are very, very excited to have it right here for you on Gazette.com. Joining me now is Coach Steve Trittschuh, the coach of the new Switchbacks, so very exciting to have you here. So tell us first about the Switchbacks. Let's focus in on the team.
Well, you know, the Switchbacks were formed probably, it's been over a year now. And then they approached me about a year ago in March to come and be the head coach. And there's something I really couldn't pass up. It's just had a good vibe to it. When I sat down with the Reagans and they wanted me to interview for the position, it just felt good, and I accepted it when they offered it to me.
Now, throughout the season, we're going to get to know more about you. But first, for those fans who don't know about you, let's run through a little bit of your history from player to coach.
Well, I played professionally for 14 years, pretty much all over the place. A lot of clubs in the United States, some in Europe. And then I was part of the national team when, from the '88 Olympics, I went to the Olympics in Seoul, and then to the '90 World Cup in Italy with the national team. And from there, after the World Cup, I got to play a year in Sparta Prague in Czechoslovakia. And from that, I was the first American to play in the European Cup, which is now considered the Champions League. So, you know, I've had a good career playing, but while I was playing, I always wanted to coach. I was captain a lot of the teams that I played on, and that just kind of led me to, you know, wanting to be a coach. And then, you know, after I retired at age 36, I got my licensing, and then I came back here for the Colorado Rapids as an assistant coach for 4 seasons. And then, so it just kind of went from there.
Right. And what does it mean for Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado to have pro soccer here? This is, to me, this is truly amazing.
Right. I mean, it's a great area, actually, because there are a lot of kids that play down here. I mean, I don't know what the number is, but thousands of kids play in this area, other than the Denver area. But you know, it's well supported. They're well educated down here, so they're going to know what's good and what's bad down here. And so far, the fans have, you know, they've really supported us, even this whole year when we haven't really played. They're really excited to come out and see the games. And when we have that opening game, April 4th, hopefully there'll be 4,000 people in the stands and cheering us on.
That home opener is going to be exciting, but your first opponent is Austin Aztecs FC in Austin, Texas. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, don't really know a whole lot about them now. They're a new team also, and so they're kind of like us. They're starting from scratch. They did have a PDL team down there, which they pulled a few players from. And actually, I know the coach a little bit, so we've talked a few times about you know, about their team and things. They have a little advantage. They have a very narrow field down there, and so, you know, I don't think it's going to be the prettiest games we're going to be playing, but you know, it'll be a good test for our team to see where we are, if we can come out and battle and fight and get a you know, a good victory out of it.
All right, let's talk about your style of play and key players.
Well, my style of play, you know, since we are almost 7,000 feet, 6,500 feet up here, we're going to use the altitude to our advantage. You know, we want these teams coming in and feeling it the last 20, 30 minutes of a game where then we could take advantage of them. Now, I want to play a high tempo, whether that's attacking wise or defending, try and win the ball back as quick as possible. And you know, just really take what the other team's giving us. I can see teams coming in here and just sitting back and looking to counterattack on us. So, you know, that speed of play for us is going to be a big thing.
And you have young players, you have a good mix. I mean, Luke Vercollone, who we're going to be talking with in just a few moments, is the second oldest on the squad at 32, but you also have younger players too, who are ready, willing, and able, as Luke is, to do whatever it takes to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, once I started getting the idea of the kind of players I wanted, I started with experienced guys. I wanted to build around that, and I mean, Luke, obviously, his wife's from this area, so he wanted to come back here, and that was kind of an easy one. But you know, I got Aaron Kings. He's from this area. He wanted to come back and play. I got a few, you know, Shintaro Harada. He's a Japanese player that's played in this league for 7, 8 years, and so he really knows the league. So, but around that, you know, I went to a lot of combines, tried to identify a lot of players, and these young players that I brought in, Miguel Gonzalez, he's out of Seattle. He was drafted by Seattle Sounders and just didn't make the team yet. Saeed Robinson, he's a Jamaican kid that played down in Arizona that has speed to burn. I mean, this kid is quick, and you know, there's a lot of good young players on it. and we're just trying to gel everybody together. I mean, we've only been together, I think, five weeks or so, before we go. But they're starting to understand everything, and as the season goes on, it'll be even better.
And it should be very exciting. But remember, once again, Austin Aztecs, your first opponent, and then after that, you've got a home opener here April 4th, which is going to be truly exciting as well. And we're going to be talking with one of the players on Switchbacks FC in just a few moments, Luke Vercollone, who I just talked about, the second oldest player at 32 on the squad. And we'll be back with more Switchbacks FC right after this.
Doing what we do for a living, we have to give that extra mile, even when you think you can't. Because not only are we taking care of people, but we're taking care of ourselves. At Centura, it is a culture of health. And as a group, we've brought that to the forefront to demonstrate to patients.
See Juliana's inspiring story at CenturaConnected.org.
Welcome back to the Switchbacks FC show. I'm Eric Singer along with Luke Vercollone, midfielder for the Switchbacks FC. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
We just talked a few moments ago with Coach Steve Trittschuh specifically about you, and you know what? You were the first person drafted. That is an exciting moment for any person playing professional sports.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite an honor, especially being with the Switchbacks, because this is a team that I've wanted to be on since they were announced, and to be the first player signed for them, that's something that I'll always have for me, so quite an honor.
Why was it so important to be drafted by the Switchbacks FC?
Well, mainly because I have a lot of family in Colorado. My wife is from Fort Collins. We have a lot of cousins, a lot of nieces and nephews for our kids, so it's really great to be close to them, and they're coming to all watch us play.
A major Colorado and now Southern Colorado connection.
That's right.
You have a milestone coming up, potentially the 100th game of your career. Tell me about that. How excited are you?
Yeah, well, the 100th game in this league, but didn't know anything about it till the other day, so I didn't think twice about it. I think it's an honor and a good accomplishment that I'm very thankful and proud of, but it doesn't really cross my mind that often, to be honest with you.
All right, and when it happens, then we'll talk with you again and see what you thought about that milestone. Of course, I think that would be nice. We'll talk to the coach right away in our next segment about
Make sure
that.
he puts me in
I like
that game.
I'm thinking that will be a for sure. But one thing comes to mind, you're a veteran. You're 32 years young, second oldest person on the squad. Tell me what you bring to the team.
Well, I'm hoping to bring some leadership, definitely. A lot of quality, hopefully some goals, some assists, a lot of wins as well. But, with my experience, I'm hoping to lead the team, and some guys can lead or follow my example and what I bring, the experience that I bring. And with that, and with the high quality, athletic, really young guys that we have as well, I think it's a great mix for a strong team.
What is your strategy to win every game? I mean, your focus mentally and physically.
Yeah, definitely the mental side is very important, but just preparation. Preparation starts with training every day and just having that high intensity, and that's one thing that we've really had that's been great this preseason. Is we have a lot of hungry players, players that want to win games, players that want to earn their spots and make their name and advance their career. So high intensity training, preparation. When you're prepared, you feel comfortable and confident, step out on the field, and then the results take place.
Just a moment ago, we talked with Coach about what his style of play is. What is your personal style of play as a midfielder?
As a defensive center mid, I try to break up a lot of plays and change the point of attack when we have the ball and distribute and keep possession. High percentage passing, a lot of touches on the ball, but a lot of not dribbling the ball that often, Sometimes I get in the attacking third, but not that much, and when I do, I have to take advantage of it and then run back. But for me, when you watch me play from the stands, you'll see me covering a lot of ground as well. That's one thing I do. Is I'm usually a fit player, running a lot, hopefully in the right places at the right time, and doing my job.
Austin Aztecs FC, your first opponent in the season. What are you expecting out of them, and what are you expecting out of yourself and the team?
Yeah, it'll be a big game, definitely. Both two new clubs looking to make their mark. They're going to be a tough team. Every team in this league, every game is going to be a grinding, going to be challenging. Especially them at home, it's going to be challenging. Our first game, it's away from home. So they're going to be pumped up, but so aren't we. I'm expecting a win. I'm hoping for a win, a great result to get the momentum and to bring it back here for April 4th, our home opener.
And we are hoping for a win as well. Thank you very much for being here, Luke. And of course, we'll have more Switchbacks FC, your definitive source for everything that is Switchbacks, right after this. Hi, I'm Eric Singer. Welcome back to the Switchbacks FC show, your source for everything that is the Switchbacks. So thanks very much for being here again, Coach. All right, let's focus again on the Aztecs in Austin. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. We just spoke with Luke. All right, let's focus on the Aztecs. And then what does Luke bring to the team specifically from a coach's perspective?
Well, like I said before in the Aztecs, you know, it's really a kind of an unknown right now. I'm trying to get a few scouts from different teams they played in preseason to see really how they play. I've got a kind of an idea, but I'm still trying to get a little bit more. But like I said, they have a little advantage there with their field. It's a smaller field, narrow. And so it's really going to be a battle. See who can come out, who's got the more, who can compete more, and really have the will to win. And so I think this team has it, and we'll just go there and see what happens.
What have you seen so far in the exhibition season? I mean, you notice key things about players, including Luke.
Right. You know, the preseason so far, we've played about 4 games. It's really trying to find out about the top 11 going into the Aztec game. And you know, we'll have a couple more games before the start of the season, but we have an idea of who that is going to be. All the players, though, I mean, we're about too deep in every position, and so it's good competition. Mm-hmm. And the guys have, you know, they've stood up, and we're still working on it. It's making it hard decisions for us, which is good. You know, I want this hard decisions to make on who's going to be the starting guys that go out, and but you know, guys like Luke, you know, Shintaro Harada, Aaron King are a little bit older players. I mean, it's building the team around those guys, and it's been great so far.
Now, when you talk about the Switchbacks FC, you're talking about team, and the team includes the other coaches on your staff. I think you need to give them a shout out right
sure.
now, too.
Well, you know, I got Wally Harris. He was a former teammate of mine here with the Rapids. You know, Wally played with the Jamaican national team and had a long career professionally. Trey Harrington is our goalkeeper coach. Trey played for the Foxes here in Colorado a few years ago, and has been, you know, he's been great with the keeper so far. And then we also have Lou Sagastumi, which a lot of people know that, you know, he was at Air Force for, 20-something years. We always, you know, say things about that. But it's just other eyes, and he's been great. So, you know, the whole staff has come together. We're all on the same page, and, you know, just trying to put a winning team on the field.
And part of that team also includes the fans. If you had to give a shout out right now, look at the camera and tell those fans why it's important for them to support their Southern Colorado team.
Well, you know, come out to Sand Creek Stadium on April 4th, our home opener against Oklahoma City. And, you know, we're going to put on a good show. You know, hopefully it's going to be great weather like it has been here. But, you know, it's going to be an exciting team. It's going to be a competitive team, and we're going to put a good brand on the field.
All right, well, thank you very much, Coach. Coach Steve Trittschuh, thank you so much for being here. And just a reminder, right after the Austin Aztecs, you're going to be right here again with another player to talk about what worked, what didn't work, and what comes up next. Right. Well, thank you so much. And of course, thank you for watching as well. And remember, Switchbacks FC Show, your definitive source for everything that is Switchbacks. We'll see you next time.